Okay, so we've got the basics on our texturizer, right? And we've got our basic wall material. Now I'm going to do something a little crazy. I know you guys are probably impatient to find out what the magic trick is that makes all this all happen. And unfortunately, there's been a lot of kind of setup stuff before we got there. So I want to jump ahead. I'm basically going to just do the kind of main part of the magic trick, and then we'll hook it up properly in the next lesson. So first, I just want to give you guys what you want. The one thing I want to show you before we do that is we're going to make a big giant thing here. That's going to do a bunch of cool stuff. Over here, I'm occasionally going to put some guy off to the side because we want to be able to show stuff. So I'm going to put down a switch, and this is going to be like our what to show thing. I'm going to call it show, make it black, and now we connect thing. The very first thing it's going to have is the textured wall. Textured wall. Okay, and there's our wall texture. Why do we care about that? I'll tell you in a second. Let's go ahead and make our second guy. This I'm going to call our cut textured wall. And this is going to say cut texture. Why do we care? We're going to go inside of here. And I'm actually going to disconnect this for a second. So we're going to make it our new guy on its own. This is going to be the guy from our hip textures brick cuts, right? Ooh, pretty cool, nifty. Why is that exciting? Because it's going to be the second thing we show. Bonk. So what's going to happen next, you're wondering? Here's the fun part. I'm just going to go up here, do our right click and type properties thing and bubble up. Here's where we get confused because it's easy to forget. We don't care about the texturizer anymore. Inside the cut texture, there's our decal guy and our main guy and somewhere our texture map, right? Remember we had our wall image? We're doing the same thing now, but we're calling this the cut image. Cut image. Okay? Now that's all dandy and fun. This guy, though, the show guy, we want him. He's going to be what we show. And I'm going to call him show and use capital letters because he's important. Now, why is he important? We're going to do something crazy with him. He's an integer, but we're going to show him as a menu. We got a thing somewhere here, ordered menu, right? And over here in the menu options, we just start. If you've never done this before, you can really set that to ordered menu. Go over here to menu and just start putting things down. So I'm going to say wall texture is our first guy, and I'm going to make both the value and the name in the, but the token and the label the same thing. And then cut texture, these something else. Cut texture. You know something, actually I'm going to say, what should I say? I want to phrase this. This is where it gets a little silly, but we're going to basically have options here of showing the stone, showing the mortar, showing the bits and pieces. Let's say for the wall, I'm just going to say wall dash textured, as in we're saying the wall and it's textured. And then the cut texture thing will be like, we're going to basically be saying this is the wall with the cut texture on it. So I'm going to say wall cuts. Wall cuts. Actually, I'll say cut image, sorry. I want to be able to phrase this because later I'm going to be like, are these the cut points? Is the actual image? Blah, 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 blah. And I want to make it clear and obvious what it is. Okay, so since we did that and since it's already connected to that and we already have these guys set up that way, that means we got this guy so we can say bonk or bonk. See how nifty it is? Matter of fact, let's get rid of lighting for a second. There's our wall texture. There's our cut texture. The only thing I would say is we want to start moving things around. This is probably the most important thing. Things like the angle text, the angle of the threshold and stuff. That'll be part of the, what should I call that? I would say that's going to be part of our texturing parameters. So I'm going to make a folder called texturing, and we're going to have a bunch of things there later on. For now, we're going to have that. Things we're going to bubble up is from the texturizer. we're going to bubble up its, choices and stuff. I'm not going to do that just now. I might as well. Sorry. Select things where we're just going to stretch, whether we show the colors. That's fine for now. We'll do the other ones later. I want to say that that is less important than the big things, which is what do we show and what are our images? Okay, so in my mind, so now we have this. We see our image, their wall is textured, the wall is cut textured. We can change the images here. And then we can also say whether or not we want it to just stretch, whether we want to see the colors. See how nifty that is? So when we copy this and use it again and again and again for other things, we can easily change that stuff. That's the important thing I want you to buy. Okay, but what did I promise? I said I was going to show you the trick before I do that. I know I love setting up all this stuff so we can use it in the future, but I did say you guys have been really patient with me on my OCD about making everything look nice, so I want to actually show you what we're going to do. Because your next question is going to be, Jeff, this is all fine and dandy, but you haven't actually shown us the main magic that we showed up for, which is what the hell is going to happen here. Okay, so I'm going to really quickly just do it, the first part of it. There's going to be a fluid component to this. You're going to be really going, what the heck? The first thing is going to be points. Let's take this guy. This is our wall, right? Let's make, you need to see this, we say smooth shaded. Let's do an ISO offset, okay? ISO offset, but let's give it a whole bunch of guys. Blanc. Kind of can't see much there, right? Not very exciting to look at. But we know it's there, and it's made a do it this way. It's made a volume. And why do we care about what the volume is? Because we're going to next make a bunch of points. We're going to do them just in the front. You might think, if we're doing a texture, don't we just do it on the front and then project them through? Yeah, maybe. That's called 2D-ish things, and we're going to do that, but not just yet. We're going to force total count. Initially, I'll do like, what does it do? 1,000, 100,000. It clicks away. It's really boring. Probably because it's doing the, oh, actually, it's doing that relaxing thing. I hate that. Sorry. We don't need to relax the iterations. Technically, we don't need to randomize the point order. So there's our points. It's a little fuzzy and huge. And as a matter of fact, I kind of don't like the points that are outside of it. So I'm going to say group those points by whether or not they're inside the wall or outside the wall. In other words, I'm going to grab this guy and say bounding object. From the second guy, bounding object points only. These are going to be the points that are inside the wall. Might be a smarter way to do this, but it's, and again, it actually does matter. I was going to say it doesn't really matter, but it kind of does. These are inside the wall points, and I want to delete the guys that are outside the wall. Delete outside wall. And these are, we're going to delete the points. Sure, delete inside wall points. Got them. Great, wonderful. I want to delete everybody that's not that. Donk. So now we have a bunch of points that are inside our wall. Sounds pretty exciting, right? So, still haven't gotten to the magic, I know. And I said I'd do it. I'm going to do it in this lesson. UV texture these points. Why are we texturing them? That's going to become apparent in a second. I'm going to orthographically texture them on here. Let that go. And now the magic. The magic in this case is going to be nice and simple. It's, and obviously there's going to be a million things we can do after this, but we're going to simply make let's actually make an attribute VOP. Let's make an attribute VOP. Okay. And this is going to be texture from image. Texture from image. Okay, this will be the magic. Man, this time flies. You're having fun. All we're going to do inside here is we are going to say for each of these points, we want to first grab the UV. So we're going to import a point attribute called UV because that already exists. It's a vector. We're going to grab it from the first input. It's called UV, right? And we're going to, well, first place, we only need the A and B. This is your big moment, guys. We're going to do this guy. See him? We're going to take the U and the V, and we're going to put it in there. And the texture map itself is going to become a parameter. And what comes out of that is going to go into the color. And your next question is going to be, but Jeff, what possible image could we possibly want to use for such a crazy thing? See what I'm doing? Copying the cut parameter guy. He's going to become our texture map. And abracadabra. Okay? We do a lot of things from here. That's the base. That is our first basic of that. We're going to use that. We're going to do some fluid stuff to get a shape around that. The space in between become the stones. We chop up the rest. All sorts of cool stuff happens. Come back for the next lesson and we'll do it all together.